A new season is born, season 2 of the Ron and John podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ron.
And I'm John, and welcome back to Real Talk Eastern Shore.
Yes, we have probably the best terminology would be we're excited for this season. We have a new type of podcast to a point. It's still going to be some of the old stuff, but a little bit more serious than the new stuff. As you heard, we have a little intro. An intro.
Small, it's still beginning. If you don't like it, just let us know. But it's something for now.
Well, like I said, we did have some haters or constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism.
And before we go any farther, I do want to give a shout out to my boo, Leroy Gibbons. He was so mad that he said, I never said nothing bad about your podcast, blah, blah. I said, listen, I'll correct this situation. And I'm on air at this point in time on a Saturday at approximately 1:31 p.m., 13:31 military time.
With 34 degrees outside.
27 wind chill.
Right.
To say, I'm sorry, Leroy. I don't mean to do that to you, but that's what I had to do. You were just one of the many. You sit there and was in that little group. So at the end of the day, sorry, Leroy Gibbons. God bless you. Or something like that.
And Happy New Year to everyone. I know we're a little late, but Happy New Year indeed.
Sometimes being late to the party is always the best time to be. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we have so much that has happened between, what was that, Christmas, and now we're on the 14th. By the way, happy belated birthday to me on the 13th.
Yes, happy birthday.
635 years old. Gray hair and kicking. I'm still good. I can still breathe. I can still, well, not going to run, but we'll go walking. So, and I'm not walking far anyway. But, at the end of the day, it's been a blessed, 15 to 20 days since, we've been on the air. We've seen, every once in a while, we keep, our statistics together. We're seeing new, listeners, some people that do listen before. This style of what we do is not like innovative or new, but it's different because it's not really around on the Eastern Shore that much. Mm-hmm. People sit there and focus on one thing, and we focus on many of things. And with the new branding that we have, how we're going to run this is, it's kind of going to be like the same, but to a little bit of degree more serious. More, hopefully as time progresses, more impact, more fruitful, more funny, hopefully, which you're going to have to help me on that one. I can only give so much funny. Since the last time we talked, since the Santa Claus, I guess say revenge, how's life been?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah. I can't complain.
Okay, pretty good.
Things have been better.
Better?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm rich better, more emotional better, I'm more mental health better, what?
No. Mental health is good. Not richer, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I tell you what, my daughter thinks I'm rich. Yesterday she told my wife that when they grow up, they can go shopping. So...
Oh, yeah?
So then my wife asked her, well, yeah, who's going to pay for it? We're going to use Daddy's money, she says.
Of course, Daddy's always got the money. You know what I mean? That's how it works.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I understand that. That's how it's supposed to work. Look at you. You're living in the most, I would say, it's one of the newest places around, per se. And it's a nice place. The area is nice. Like, you ain't got to worry about people breaking in your shit.
No.
I hope. And plus, you got cops living around.
Yeah, there's cops everywhere in that area.
So, it's not, it's a plus and minus because, if you're good, you ain't got to worry about nothing. If you're bad, if you're done something wrong, you're going to worry the whole time. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to be hard for them to knock on your door.
No, so I'm safe.
So, yeah, you're safe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? 100%. So I'm glad to hear that, that your daughter knows that your daughter signifies and symbols you as the money person. And as the money man, she knows that mommy can spend money of yours because that's how it works.
Yeah.
To a point.
She's not neither of them is spending any money.
Okay, well there you go. You know, you just nip that right in the bud, right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? No, you're not.
I say that, but that's not going to happen.
You'll be like,
Just
no.
just like you with your kids, always spending money. It's the same with me.
I don't even want to get into that, man. Like it's every fight. So I'm sitting here, bored. I was like, it's Christmas Eve. Oh, was it Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve? It was one of the two. I was like, I want to buy something for my family.
Mhm.
So what do? I go and spend $5,000 on couches and love seats that are movie themed per se.
Mhm.
You know, recliner, electric, and everything. You know, we got this dog in here.
Ooh, that wind picked up. Sorry, go ahead.
It's
yeah,
okay.
You got the dog.
Yeah, this dog likes to chew on couches.
Mm-hmm.
My motto was, getting these couches, this dog ain't going to chew on them, or he's not going to be on them. Both, technically.
Right.
What did it take? 20 minutes. He's on that couch. Put him in the kennel. Brought him back out 10 minutes later. 5 minutes later, on the couch. Put him back in the kennel. I put him in the kennel 25 times in 2 days. He still ain't learned. He still ain't learned. He don't even care. Like, he'll literally look at me, and I'm like, no. He will look at me again and stare at me as he goes up on the couch and sit and curl up. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't even know what to do anymore with him. Like, I don't. Like, he's so hard-headed. I guess he gets it honest,
Yeah.
would you say, you know?
Yeah, from your family.
Yeah, but I
From
mean,
you.
that's wrong. That's just not how it's supposed to be. Like, you know, I'm telling you, man, like, me and him going to fight. Like, it's coming. Like, we're gonna definitely, you know what? I'm going to put it on pay-per-view. We're going to make money off that thing. I mean, just plain and simple. Just, he's going to have to bring his paws up, and we're just going to go one-on-one. Now, I know that would be animal abuse, but I think he would kill me.
Yeah,
So,
I think,
like,
I think he's got the upper hand.
yeah, so, like, I mean, like, is it really animal abuse if you're trying to protect your life?
Technically, you're still an animal, so humans are animals.
That's a good, you know what? I never thought about that. That is a good assumption. I would never thought about that at all. You know, but, you know, that's something we can look at pay-per-view maybe down the road.
Yeah.
You know, so how's work, matter of fact?
Well, you know I'm going to say good. But it's a busy month. This January is always a busy month over there.
Busiest month.
We got 400 items that need maintenance between 3 people.
So that's
So-
about 133 pieces per.
Yeah, and it's going to be. I'm already getting overtime, so
Yes.
I'm not complaining about that.
That's money, man. Money is money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what it's all about. You know, at the end of the day, and you're getting overtime. I mean, what are you working, 5 or 6, or what they got going on now?
What do you mean, like 5 days?
Yeah, just working 5 days, or
Just
is it
5
like,
days, just work longer hours.
Oh, okay. Well,
And I might go in a Saturday here and there.
I don't blame you. Take the overtime while you got a chance, you
Mhm.
know, because I mean, it might not be there all the time. But it sounds like you're down one person,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be there probably at least for the next 6 months at least.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a plus. That's a complete plus for you,
For me.
for your pocket. Unfortunately, mine sounds like it's gonna go a different way. The way our freight has been holding, it's gone down a lot. Granted, doing what we do, we rely on certain shippers and countries and stuff like that, and you know, also the United States. But China has got their New Year coming, and it sounds like they're in a lock, like they're locking down pretty
Yeah.
hard. So like a lot of stuff is not coming over. You were even talking about it earlier about you
Oh, yeah. I ordered
purchase-
something.
you ordered
and
something.
that was supposed to be shipped. I still hadn't gotten it.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Like, that's crazy, 2 weeks, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, if you order it before Christmas and they said, okay, well, you're going to get it, like, you know, December 31st, maybe. You know, so be it. But we're talking about, like, January 14th now.
Mhm.
You're looking, when did you order it?
23rd of February. Sorry, not
Of February?
Jeez, I'm
Wow, you mean 11 months?
December. I can't
So-
think right now.
No, wow, is it that cold?
It is freaking cold.
I'm not too bad. I bundled up, man. I wasn't stupid.
You look cold though.
Well, because I'm fat. Fat people
You should-
always look cold.
You should be warm though.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I'm not warm. You know what I mean? Just because I look cold doesn't mean I'm not warm. You know what I mean? So do you still? So I guess my biggest question now is: do you still feel the crunch of all the money you spent for Christmas at all?
No, because we spend it throughout the year
Mm-hmm.
buying something and then saving it for Christmas. So it's not like we went Black Friday shopping and try to buy everything at once.
Which makes sense.
So we went throughout the year, got stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I feel a little bit, but not too bad. But like, we're going back to like the I don't know, ADHD hit me real bad, real quick. But going back to what I was dealing with, it just seems like it's going to be like I don't think we're gonna lay anybody off or anything like that, but the hours going to diminish a lot because like our peak season, there's just unlimited hours. Now it's just going to be real tight on the hours, and I mean that kind of hurts the business side and it hurts the employee side.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of that, and that just makes it worse because I'm the one that's got to be like, well, do you want to take off today? You know what I mean? And
now that you're management, it's your responsibility.
yes, so our theory is this: if I will ask you first, and I'll ask everyone, and say I need 25 people, and we have 30 people. And say 4 said they'll have off, and I have to get one more off. I'll start first off when I ask from the top to the bottom, which is your seniority, and then from there I'll try to figure out. And usually 95% of the time it's not even a fight. It's just like, yeah, I'll take off. It'll be my turn. I'll take off. I got a couple of employees that just won't take off because they're like, I need the money. I totally understand that, but we try to make it even and fair for everybody because if you start pushing somebody off every other day or something, they're going to walk away, and you don't want them to walk away. We have a good core now, and we don't want none of them. And the one guy came in yesterday. He was like, how are we looking today? I said, really light. He was like, are you saying you need someone off? I was like, I guess. Is that good with you? He was like, my bills are paid. I'm good. All right, have a good one. That made my choice so much easier. You know what I mean? Like, and they're easy to work with, most of the guys. They'll usually be like, yeah, and I just messed up. I hit my knee with the cigarette, and there's ashes everywhere. This is never good.
We keep telling you smoking's bad.
Mm-hmm. That was going to be my January 1st New Year, New Me.
Year's resolution?
No, it wasn't going to be resolution. It was going to be New Year, New Me. But there's no such thing as New Year, New Me.
There's no new me. There's
no
such thing.
You're correct. Like, the one thing is, I can honestly say, like, I feel more uppity up, more energy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been changing a little bit here and there on what I'm eating. A little bit, I'm still on the Mountain Dew kick, but I think that's going to leave here soon because I'm starting to feel like I've done it, and probably I'll go on the Gatorade kick then, and then be there for like 2 years. We'll see how that works, right?
It's a little bit healthier depending on how much Gatorade you start drinking.
So
like when you used to live in originally.
Oh
it was
my
like
God.
nonstop.
But that was good though, because like back then I would run from like the house to the bar once in a while. So like it kind of worked up where I could get, what do they call it, electrons or something like that.
Electrolytes?
Yeah, something like that. Whatever they want to call them. Too big a word for me today. Saturday I'm trying to lay back because usually on the weekdays it's all just business.
And just for confirmation, running from the house to the bar was like 100 feet.
132 steps to paradise, as I used to call it. 132 steps. And let me tell you something, it was paradise. We'll just leave it like that. Anyway, so like, total, like, the stuff is like, on this, podcast, like I said, we're going to be a little bit more serious here and there. We're really cramping down in the last week or two, I would say. Looking at new adventures, new things with this podcast involved, I really hope everyone stays aboard and comes with the ride, because the ride's going to be phenomenal in our opinion.
Oh yeah, we got something big in the books.
Yeah, it's I was told a long time ago, go big or go home, and that's what it's going to be. I mean, honestly, we're going to do something that, I'm not going to say it's the first. I'm not going to say it's the last. But I'm definitely going to say it's going to be ours at the end of the day. It just, as time progresses, we'll let the cat out of the bag sooner or later. Probably when we're right at that point where there's no more time to sit there and be quiet about it. But definitely, it's just one of many things that we're looking into. It's crazy to sit there and look at all around you, what's here and what's not. What people enjoy, what people don't enjoy, what is a need and what is a want, and what is not facilitated as a need. We'll all get to the point where, our average podcast listeners, I think between 35 and 45, which is below my age, but around your age. You know what I mean? So it's going to be something at the end of the day that, even though maybe the podcast is got a few listeners, it's still going to be the catalyst to where we have to go. And we started here, and where we end up, we don't know. But we have a good feeling this is going to be something phenomenal. So I hope you guys stay tuned, stay with, us listeners. So stay with us, our podcast, and we'll drop tidbits here and there, nothing really big, but just, stay with us and, ride with us while we have time, because this is going to be great news. With that said, the homeless situation in Milford.
Mm-hmm.
I had talked to you here and there about it this
Right.
week. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I updated that they bought the woods back there where they're at on one of the last podcasts. I'm not sure if I did or not.
No, I don't think you did.
I don't. So somebody came in, so the week before I heard this, I wrote, so where I work at, it's a business park. So you go past, and it's it really looks like the Monster Mall. It's an oval road completely, with like one road that goes out towards Milford Harrington Highway. The other one goes out to DuPont Boulevard. Mm-hmm. But in the back where we work, where I'm at, it's oval all the way around. And across the street, there's a tire shop. So I'm going in, I think it was like, might have been like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I was doing peak season. So I'm driving, and I'm looking to my right, and I see like 2 or 3 guys out there with these vests, and bright yellow vests and green. And I'm like, man, I think they're surveying that land. I think someone's about to buy that son of a bitch. That's what I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Because you only survey land for a reason. So I'm looking, I'm like, okay, didn't think nothing about it. So I think it was like a week later, maybe less than a week, when homeless people came by. It's like, yeah, someone bought the land. They're saying we got to get out of here by, I think it was January 7th or 6th at first. And they're going to kick us out and this and that. I was like, well, I'm sorry to hear about that, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So then, supposedly, from my understanding, the guy gave him another week, which would be today, January 14th. And they had to be out completely because they're going to take all the trees out, they're going to level it, and they're putting warehouses back there. Now, to be honest with you, where they're located, and you go by, you would say from here, and if you look straight ahead, I would say it would be like almost to a little bit behind that house, probably in front of us, probably like 20 foot behind that house is where they're at, where the woods is. So they're building warehouses back there. So I'm only interested to see what they build back there.
Well, to put in the listener's perspective, what do you say? That's about 100 feet, 120 feet?
Maybe. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Not much more. Not much less. But that went down the wrong hole. That wasn't good. So I was like, well, at least they gave you a week, blah, blah. So I think it was the day after that. One of the homeless women come through, and she was like, yeah, they're going to give us 90-day vouchers to go to the hotel, blah, blah. Like, well, I'm glad to hear that. At least, hopefully you get on your feet. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've seen and heard some stories where people have offered the homeless some jobs, and they'll do one day, and that's it. It's a sad situation. Like, if you got a job, keep it. You know what I mean? This is getting you out of your situation. If you want to camp in 20-degree weather, go right ahead. Not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? So
I don't even want to podcast in 20-degree
weather.
weather.
Yeah, and we're doing it right now. But, I mean, can you imagine being out here for 24 hours straight?
Mm-hmm.
Forget that. Like, not me. Not the one. So it was yesterday, day before. So I think it might have been the day before. The one girl came by and she was like, "Yeah, they lied about this. They didn't have the money and stuff like this." And I was like, "Oh." She was like, "Yeah, so we got to be out by 8 a.m. January 14th on a Saturday. If the cops come back there and see any of us, they're locking us up." I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Yo, like, I don't want to be woken up at 8 o'clock in the morning like that. That's not even cool as shit." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they gave them till 3 o'clock today, which I hope they all found a spot. You would think that, being offered a job to get you out of your situation, you would stay 100%. But I guess they get 1 day pay and then they just splurged on whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like, like I said, 3 p.m. They gotta be out today. Sorry to hear about that, but at the same time, maybe it'll put some motivation in them. Some of them, not all of them. Some don't need motivation. They have more problems than what it is just homelessness. They have, and like I said, the girl that I spoke to, I can't confirm or deny what she said. It could be true, could be false. But I do know that there will be warehouses back there. So it'll be interesting how that all looks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be kind of cool, but kind of not. You kind of like, you learn a little bit about their habits and stuff. And some you see, it's pretty sad. But,
But didn't you mention over the week that they canceled? Not canceled. I guess they took back the offer.
well, it
Or didn't
sounds like, so it's, so from my understanding, when I talked to the girl, because I was like, "Well, you all about to go, to that, have 90 days in a hotel," and she was like, "Well, they went back on that offer in Milford, town of Milford, and this and that, and I guess the person that bought it, I guess that was their deal. I don't know. I can't honestly say yes or no,
Right.
and I'm not trying to report, false, things, but
Right.
that's what I was told. You know what I mean? So it's not reporting; it's just honest conversation between one and another. It was good, conversation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's sad that the look that you get from someone that's like, I got no other place to go. And then the worst part, I was waiting for someone. Well, why don't you just invite her to your house? I got enough. You know what I mean? I don't have no extra rooms. If I had extra rooms, I might, but I just no. It's
Right.
not my cup of tea. I don't mind helping them, but at the same time, I feel they could do a little bit more for themselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So just my cup of tea, how I look at it, so be it and everything. But yeah, since we haven't been on since, like I said before, it's like Christmas time. A lot of events happen over on the Maryland Eastern Shore.
Yeah. There was actually on New Year's Day, or I guess New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. After
Hmm.
nighttime, there was a almost fatal accident. They had to cut the person out of a car on Greensboro Road. There was a sheriff's deputy committed suicide. Um, a lot has happened just in the first 2 weeks alone in that area, which is, I mean, I don't even know how to describe that.
It's it's sad that tragedy happens, and the worst part about it is, at the end of the day, it happens everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just your big cities in Los Angeles and
Oh, yeah.
Boston, New York, Philly. Happens in small town USA.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, it's sad. This plays into like the mental health situation with the suicide. It's sad, 100%. The man served. Um, I'm sorry to hear about the situation for his family. And there's no words you can say to make it better.
No, he was,
Regardless.
from what I read, so this is just from what I read, he was battling with PTSD from, I'm guessing, his time in the service
Mhm.
in the Army.
Which I do have friends that have been in the military that do have PTSD, and it's something that I will never understand because I don't have it.
Right.
They say, if you talk, you feel better. I know some people it don't help at all. It makes it worse. But I mean, I do send my condolences to the family and friends. I didn't know the gentleman, but Godspeed. You know what I mean? And just hope to God, at the end of the day, if someone's feeling that way before they get to that point, I just, there's a number out there. What was it? I think it's 3 digits, ain't it? Like,
Yeah, they changed it from the old
yeah,
10-digit
I want
number
to. Was
to
it eight something? 888-8866, something like that.
it is 988.
988. So if you ever have any issues, any problems, you feel to that point where you have no other like choice. Like, this is where my choice is laying at. Not 8. What was it?
988.
988. Sorry about that. 988. Or you can text us. Like, we're here. Like I'll say, I know I said it in broadcast before. I get texts at night, 1, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Hey, are you up? If I'm up, I'm going to answer it. I guarantee I'm going to piss at 3 o'clock. So, I mean, I'm going to answer you sooner or later. But we're here. Like, we're here to, to be that cushion, be that pillow. If you need, lean on somebody hard, that's fine. We can't offer the world, but we can offer an ear, and we can offer advice, and we can offer all that. It's not a burden at the end of the day. When you start making and thinking it's a burden, then maybe you're not as good a person as you thought you were.
What?
Because if you think, like, my thing is this: if you think being a person just to hear somebody because they're in suicidal thoughts.
Oh, you're
Is
talking
a
about the other person, not the
Yeah.
person who's trying to get help.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
The other
okay.
person. Let's
Yeah, because
you
it
know what I
sounded
mean?
like the other
Well,
way around.
I was trying to put it together, and sometimes 27 degrees, the brain freezes here
You're
and there.
right.
You know what I mean? So, I hope it sounds better when you listen to it. Maybe it sounds better. Hopefully, maybe you
Well, with the
misheard it.
explanation, it'll be it's
So,
better.
but I mean, like I said, we're just 1 click away, technically. Well, 2 clicks. Find us on Facebook, and then message, and then you can do that ting 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 that you do on the text. You know what I mean? Because when you got the volume all up, that's what you hear, ting 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 ting, whenever you text somebody. So, like I said, we're out here. We're no professionals, but we can take. If we help just for like 5 minutes, that's fine. I'm cool with that. 100%. I'm cool with an hour. Now, after like 70 hours, then maybe I might need to get paid. But no, but yeah, it was kind of getting sad here. We need to pick it back up. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's been trying. Like I've seen, like, I mean, what was it like? There's a lot of accidents. I've noticed the accidents went up already this month.
Yeah, I noticed a couple times for each week for the last 2 weeks since I've been going home from work in Easton alone. There's like an accident on 50.
Easton's a bad area, man.
Yeah.
Because people. So.
But I hadn't seen that like happen back to back to back to back
Yeah. That's,
at all until recently.
Well, I think the holidays didn't help matters. You know what I mean, per se. I think at the end of the day, holidays, and then also everyone's rushing, going wherever they got to, which is never good. It's never good. You need to, like, if you gotta go somewhere and it's a 20-minute ride, and you'll be there 10 minutes ahead of time, leave 5 minutes ahead of time, before then. So if you leave it, if it was 7:30 you're gonna leave at 7:25. You're still gonna make it in time. There ain't no sense of rush. I've gotten to the point, man, 55 down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, so when I go to work, I go down Route 1. So in Milford, just north of Milford, they're doing what they call it's Operation something. Whatever it is, it has to do with. So the first week they're doing them with speeders. They're gonna just get speeders, and then the next week it's people on their cell phones. So this guy here is going 56 miles an hour. 55, 56. That's
Right.
it. I'm no faster. And you should see how many people blow by me on a regular basis. Because when you get to the base, Dover Air Force Base, it's 60 miles an hour. And then it drops to 55 when you get to the Magnolia Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go 56 in the 60. I'm to the point now, I'll go 45 in the 55. I don't even care. Like, I ain't got no place to go quick. I'm going to get to work. I'll get there when I get there.
Mhm.
I'm still going to be by myself at work at least for about an hour, hour and a half. So it really don't matter what time I get there.
Yeah.
So I just take my time. There's
Yeah,
no
me
sense
too. There's
rushing.
no. I mean, I leave early enough that I'm at least 30 minutes early to work.
Well, that's another question I got. Been stopping at McDonald's lately?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I told you I didn't.
Well, I didn't know.
stopped stopping.
But hold on, it doesn't mean that you won't stop. One day you'll be like, you know what, I'm done with this, or
No.
that's never going to happen.
Oh no, I didn't go one day this week.
Oh
The
my!
other 4 I did go.
So that saved you how much money?
$4. My breakfast is only 5.
Oh well, okay. I mean, then I guess that's good then, right? That's
Yeah.
saving money. You know what I mean?
Although I did switch my breakfast sandwich,
Oh no, what'd you switch to now?
the McGriddle.
You like the McGriddles?
But yeah, it's the McGriddle. It's pancake with, it's a pancake sandwich pretty much, with bacon and egg. I used to get
Really?
that a lot. Then I switched to the bagel. Now I'm back.
So I go with the rusty old egg white grill from Chick-fil-A. That's a win every single time. I love it.
I'm gonna have to try that. That's just a little out of my way, but
Is
I'm early enough that I can stop there, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, I don't know how your Chick-fil-A goes, but the one in Milford, they're on point, man. I usually don't wait more than a minute for my sandwich when I'm in line. Everyone, I mean, granted, they move them quick, but
Mhm, yeah.
I mean, I think there should be a standard for drive-throughs. I go to Hardee's and I'll order something, and then 7 minutes later it comes out. I'm like, which I don't mind if it's fresh and hot, but 70% of the time it's not fresh and hot. It's like lukewarm, and I'm like, I guess I'll eat this thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess. Don't pull my arm, please.
Well, they also just revamped Chick-fil-A in Easton.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it used to be just one line,
Mm-hmm.
but you know how they do it here in Dover? It's 2, and then you merge into one line after you order.
Yeah.
They rebuild the whole area to make it look like that.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
that's
it's
how Milford
more
is.
cars, yeah, more business.
Well, one in Dover, man, it's packed all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Never so. I mean, oh, that reminds me. I did hear Denton's Aldi's is opening in January.
Yeah, the building looks completed.
Yeah.
They probably just need to stock now. But I did hear you were talking about a Dairy Queen a while back. It looks like
Yes.
they are building a Dairy Queen there.
They're putting a Dairy Queen in Harrington as well. Like, that's kind of surprising. You know what I mean? But I get it because, I kind of get it, kind of don't. Because Milford has 2 Dairy Queens, literally. They have one in town, which I think was privately owned. And I want to say the Dairy Queen up north was put into this gas station, which is
Okay.
used to be called Chicken Man because they were specialized in chicken. And then, Rural Farms kind of took that market over pretty quick. You know what I mean? But still, they got 2 there. They got one in Camden. But it makes sense putting one in Harrington because you're going to get the Greenwood business. You'll get people that's riding, on 14.
Mm-hmm.
But where it's located, so the Rural Farms on 14 and 13, there's a Hardee's, 14, Rural Farms, and then a Rite Aid. And then when you get past the Rite Aid, there's an Arby's and there's a car wash. So demolishing the car wash, so Dairy Queen will be pretty much, what do you call it, like sharing a parking lot with Arby's. And Arby's is always dead, but I love Arby's. You know what? I would go on stake to say right here, Arby's is my go-to. When if I'm done with every other place, like I like Arby's. I really do. A lot of people don't. I don't know why, but I like it. I like the roast beef. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Reminds me of summertime. Well, it was the first place I ever
Okay.
worked at.
Oh, okay, that makes
So,
sense. Yeah.
So my first job, I think I was making like $1.12 an hour back in like 1912. So
And you were
like,
rich.
yeah, I was rich, man. I was like piling it in because I remember my days back then. Like, I would sit there, and I'd go in there, and that's where. So you had, I think it was me and this other guy. We were from one school. They were all from the Lake Forest School District. We weren't. So, like, all the parties for Lake Forest we went to. So, like, it was cool and stuff. Like, you got to meet more people. You got to hang out with people. But, like, and some Milford people would come over. I think there was a couple people from Milford that used to work there. But this is when I was 18, 16. I think it was 16. So that was, 31 years ago. Dude, I'm fucking old. Like I'm really old. Like that really makes you feel old because how old are you?
Wait, 30. Oh, me, 38.
Okay, It was 7. You were 7. I was working at Arby's. Like for real. That's how I'm going to look at it right now. You were 7 when I was working. Well, no. Yeah, 7. Yeah, 7. So I mean, that just tells you. You know what I mean? Like I remember when they built it. It was when it was first built. So it's been there 31 years. Wow, I can't believe that. Huh? I would have never known that until now. Like honestly, like I never thought about that. Like I forget what we were talking about one day at work, and we were talking about like buildings that went up out of nowheres, and like you sit there and you drive by places and you just look at them. Yeah. You ever wonder how long it's been there? Like if you seen something like out of nowhere, you're like, I wonder how long that's been there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't realize Arby's been there 31 years. Like I'm totally like I remember the only Arby's I ever went to was one in Georgia when I visited my sister. I was young. The family visited my sister. She moved to Georgia, and it was so salty. The roast beef was so salty. I hated it. And then when they built this one, I mean, you got a free sandwich every time for lunch. Like whenever you did your lunch break. You know what I was doing? I was living on Arby's, man. Like loving it. Like I'm loving it. Love the curly fries though. Love the curly fries.
I do like their curly
Yeah,
fries.
the curly fries, man. I smack somebody for them, like for real. Like honestly, I'm gripped on that. So going back to things that we talk about. So they are getting Dairy Queen. The Aldi's in Milford is being built as we speak.
Okay.
I think they're opening either January or February as well. It's right next to Planet Fitness. So you have a grocery store and Planet Fitness, and now they got a Harbor Freight coming into that whole strip right where Hardee's and Chick-fil-A and all that. So that place is going to be pretty busy at all times. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, that sounds like it.
Oh yeah. So and then it's weird because that used to be the old place because they got like a Mexican restaurant. They got Little Caesars in there. They got there's a bank. There's Applebee's. Someone said there's like 2 more restaurants going up there because there's one place called they got the movies up there now too. They say they're really nice up there, but they just opened up the diner again. So Milford's on the upswing per se. There's a lot of I guess you say out of staters moving down there. So it's changed and you can see the change going on slowly but surely. There's more traffic. Summertime it sucks completely. Like on Sunday's the worst. So I would leave work on Sunday at 12 o'clock, 12:15 in the afternoon. It would take me almost an hour and 15 minutes to get back here.
Jeez.
It's a 35-minute ride because everyone's coming from the beach up one, or they would think, oh, I can sneak through this way. I'm going to make it better. It don't. It's such a cluster, plain and simple.
I remember living in Greensboro and that people are taking the back way from the beach back home across the bridge, going through Greensboro. I don't know why they would, because I guess 404 was too packed, so they thought they could go through town, maybe go around.
Oh yeah, well so the one thing I learned as I was coming back from, so remember I used to have to go to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned if the beach traffic on Friday nights were backed up because they're going eastbound, and sometimes they backed up to the outlets, even more. You take 301 up to where the Centerville exit is,
213,
and then make your left at
That's
309, and then ride that down
to 404.
Yep. And you would save 25, 35 minutes. The problem was people started learning it.
Yep.
Because the GPS would tell you go up 301, and then you'd be stuck in gridlock too. But then I learned the back roads go through Tuck-Ho Park and stuff like that. So it made it a little bit better because that's how I would have to go sometimes to get to the bar.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck, being here so long. Oh my God. You just drive yourself nuts. But it's just amazing. They're going to have to do something in the next, I would say 5 years about that 404. Because it still backs up.
Okay.
Regardless. Especially on Sunday morning, when I was going over to the bridge, over to Baltimore, get a freight, and coming back, you get to, I would say, almost the outlets, the backup starts from there sometimes. And sometimes the backup is not even at the bridge, it's at 404 and 50.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd just be massive backup. It's crazy. Infrastructure is not good because they were not ready for that, So definitely, that's one thing I do want to say. we are going to go summertime. We definitely got to go to Ocean City. We got to go one day down there, and we got to do our podcast. Since we will have new technology
Oh,
to be
yes,
able
yes.
to walk
Walk and talk.
and be able to. This is ever evolving. This is why I say, like, if you want to get in podcasting, it's a good thing, but it's ever evolving because there's always something new. There's always something you can add. There's always something that you can learn about it, like your technology you need. When you sound a certain way on your first podcast to the time you sound on your 20th podcast, which I think we're at 19 now. This is our 19th
This
one?
is actually going to be our 20th episode.
Wow, did you see my old mind actually worked, and that's great, so like I mean it's ever evolving. There's so much to it because it's not you can simply go on there and just run your mouth like we do all the time. And I'm not saying we're not prepared, but I'm also saying that we could probably do a better job.
Oh, yeah.
Which we are going to concentrate on that more as we progress. Like I said, we're going to a little bit more serious tips, about, everything, about life, period, and we want to get more involved in the community as well. And that's what we're going to try to get to.
And that's what we need. We need information from the community. Excuse me. We need information from the community so we can disperse the information to the people that are listening, especially if it's like fundraisers for school or rescues, stuff like that.
It could be anything. Like
Yeah.
we would even like
Just to get the community involved.
if someone wants to hit us up and say this band's playing here.
Yeah.
I mean, we're more willing to throw some advertisement for you guys. Because at the end of the day, it's all about money. In the lifespan. Because if you can't pay that person, your business is going to go under. And we don't want no one business to go under. And we want people to be able to have fundraisers and be successful at it. It would suck to have a fundraiser and have 6 people show up completely, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't, you can plug it, send a message, this, and we'll definitely plug it. We have no problem with that because it also gives us to talk about certain things that maybe we don't think about sometimes. It also gives us, room to talk about things that we do think about, but maybe we didn't go so deep into it.
Yeah.
So, all over, total, I think it's a good idea that, if there's something out there, let us know, I mean, it could be local, it could be international, whatever, And if there's a subject you want us to talk about, we'll talk about it. I do know there was one that spoke about it way early in our first couple podcasts, which I still got to get to that one. From
Talking
Arizona.
about Cheryl?
Yeah, we
Okay.
I got to still get in her message because I got to read into it because I didn't
About
get
what
a chance.
stuff to talk about.
Yeah, what
I
she
got
wants
you.
want to hear, and I'm
Yeah.
cool with that. Like I'm cool with to talk about stuff like that. I'm not. Listen, I'm not perfect, and I'll make judgment calls, or I'm not trying to judge, but just how I feel about things. And with our conversation today, it was more wrapping up the rest of the year to where we're at now.
Mm-hmm.
Some good notes, some really horrific notes, which is sad at the end of the day. And where we're at in life now, we're moving forward, we're evolving, we're going to be better than ever, with everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I mean, any final words?
Just that we want to thank all the listeners for taking the time to listen to us, even the ones that Ron put some hate on.
Yes.
Actually, one more
hate.
thing. You
Yes.
wanted to talk about your other friend from work.
Oh, you mean my Asian contendants?
Yes.
Yes, you're talking about. Well, that's what they told me they were. So
Okay.
okay. So, do want to say shout out to you two. You guys are great. You listen to him. Well, I know at least one listened to me. The other one probably doesn't, but that's fine. Do want to apologize for putting in that group. Never meant to, but it's okay. And by the way, one of them, I do got to say, keep your head up. You're doing good, and both of them you are actually, because you both have gone through diversity, and you're evolving into better people, and actually, you're killing it at the end of the day. So keep that in mind. Don't ever, if something don't look great, at first, just keep pushing. You're gonna get where you need to go. Trust me. Just want to put that out there because I know some of the dealings you've dealt with throughout the time that I've known you guys. So keep your head up and keep pushing through it. So definitely, there we go.
So to close us out, just want to let everyone know that we are actually on pretty much every podcast platform and on YouTube. And if you have any questions, just make sure to let us know.
So, like I said last time, I was going to retire my closing. You know what I mean? Totally get it out of here. But you know what? At the end of the day, I can retire that because the one thing's for sure, it is what it is. But you can hate all you want, but we're still here. So with that being said, you all have a great evening.
And have a good night.